Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond Crazy. Number 5. John Hammond. Life in prison, no parole. That was the sentence received by John Jack Hammond, the Middleton, Wisconsin tenant who murdered his 81-year-old landlord Agnes Bram. The reason it seems that Judge Hyland denied the defendant the opportunity of being paroled is that Hyland was horrified by the sheer brutality of the crime. Hammond's weapon was a hammer or similar object, reports Danny Maxwell for the WCO.com website. The killer struck his victim in the head more than half a dozen times, leaving her bloody corpse on the garage floor for her family to discover. The landlady's granddaughter, Kelly Eder, was also aghast at the viciousness of Bram's murder, as was Bram's daughter, Rose Kelso, who told the murderer, "You threatened your past landlord in January before you moved into my mom's house with a hunting knife. Your own mother didn't want you living with her over fear you would hit her over the head. You have no right to be released." Before beating Bram to death, Hammond, who officials say struggled with alcoholism and mental health issues, posted a rant against women on social media. Number 4. Joshua Young. Initially, tenant Joshua Young had been charged with first-degree murder, but at trial the jury found him guilty of second-degree manslaughter. Writing for Milky News at noon, Emily Maher reported that the Louisville, Kentucky tenant was also convicted of first-degree wanton endangerment and tampering with physical evidence. He shot his landlord Shane McCain to death after the men argued about rent. Young said that in killing McCain, he'd been only trying to protect his family. Young maintained that McCain had broken into his home and threatened him with a gun. Before fleeing, Young shot his landlord 3 times, killing him. Young was sentenced to 6 years for his crimes. Number 3. Joshua Alfano. Joshua Alfano wanted to become a model. Instead, as Carly Dryden notes in her Daily Breeze article, he will spend life in prison without the possibility of parole for kidnapping, robbing, and strangling his 67-year-old Torrance, California landlord, Norman Mangus. Despite his plea for leniency, Judge Mark Arnold was not moved by the defendant before him, whom Arnold described as a sociopath with no conscience. Although Alfano apologized for his heinous crimes, Judge Arnold said, "I think you're sorry that you got caught, not for what you did," and observed that Alfano had burglarized Mangus twice before and had a history of convictions. Alfano's alleged remorse hadn't stopped him from strangling his landlord the 3rd time that Alfano, with the aid of his 21-year-old friend Morgan Tyler DeLange, had attempted to rob Mangus. Details from the court revealed that DeLange called Mangus to arrange a meeting so Alfano could return the stolen property. In reality, the meeting was a ruse to steal Mangus's TV and car. At trial, Alfano and DeLange blamed one another, but each admitted to helping carry the body and stealing the landlord's car. Dryden's description of the killing indicates its horrific savagery. One or the other defendant stomped on Mangus's chest, punched and kicked him, strangled him with a belt, and stuffed a ski mask in his mouth. He died of asphyxia. Both men carried his body to the site of the house, where it remained for 4 days until police discovered it. As for motive, Deputy District Attorney Eric Gutierrez referred to Alfano and DeLange as team grade. Number 2. Daniel Brisano Garcia. Daniel Brisano Garcia, 46, stabbed 2 of his landlords, Sonia Bruton Calvi, 66, and Edgar Aguilera Daza, 60, to death after Garcia became paranoid about COVID, reports an MSN article. The couple had shared their South London home with 5 others, subletting rooms in the house. One of the other tenants recalled hearing shouting and, after opening her bedroom door, seeing Daza being repeatedly stabbed in the stomach while the defendant held him around the neck. Next, Garcia attacked Calvi. Authorities responding to the scene found a bloodbath at the rental house. Daza was found in a pool of blood in the hallway, and Calvi was lying face down in the kitchen with a knife clenched in her hand. Although Garcia claimed he was mentally ill and heard voices, a jury agreed that he had committed manslaughter and found him guilty of 2 counts of murder. Garcia was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 33 years. Number 1. Carl Besford. Ironically, Carl Besford, 35, a tenant who sought to decapitate his landlord, Simon Mage, 46, worked in a slaughterhouse. Despite his occupation, he didn't prove up to the task, leaving his victim stabbed and mutilated rather than headless. In the process, he did manage to murder Meek, for which he received a life sentence. The renter invited his landlord to his Raleigh Grove apartment in the Belsham part of Gateshead, England, where Besford pulled a knife on Mage, repeatedly stabbing him. Despite his not guilty plea, the jury found him culpable. In doing so, the jurors took a dangerous and violent offender off in the streets, stated the Northumbria Police. Detective Chief Inspector Paul Young, the lead investigator, added, "This was a savage attack on a respectable member of the community who was simply going about his business." This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.